Welcome back to Healing-ish. On today's episode, we're going to dive deep into approval addiction. If you're someone like me that has struggled your entire life with the constant need of approval from other people, you are going to absolutely love this episode. We go deep from motherhood to having friends and family in your circle and even business partners. We go through the whole shebang. So go ahead, grab your glass of wine, grab your little notepad, and let's get into this. Welcome back to Healing-ish. I'm Allie Welsh, your host, your unfiltered bestie, and your guide to building the business and life that you actually love. So grab your coffee, your wine, or whatever helps you deal with your ish, and let's do this. Welcome to Healing-ish.
All right, Allie Welsh. I feel like you're someone who's lived many lives, and on today's topic, we're going to talk about approval addiction.
Approval addiction, my
And
fave.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay, let's get into it.
One of many is, when did you first realize you were living for others' people's approval and not your own?
Dang.
Yeah.
I think I realized, I would say probably like 7 or 8. And I think it's because, well, I know why. Because obviously, people know my story, but my mom was an addict my whole life. And I always wanted her. I felt like if I was doing good, then she would stay sober. And so I was like, well, if I can behave, if I listen, if I do so well, then she won't drink.
Yeah.
And so as a little girl, I would like always constantly try to please her because I wanted to distract her from obviously drinking. And then it like bled out into other areas of my life. Like I realized that my dad would only recognize me if I did good things. My aunt would only recognize me if I did good deeds. And so as a little girl, I just thought it was like the way to be loved and valued and appreciated and wanted is if I did good. And which is kind of crazy. Like I feel like that's most of us, right? Yeah. But the reality of it is like I should be loved, valued, and appreciated whether I do good or not.
Yeah.
And like with Brave, like every single day when she starts her day, whether she starts it in a good way or a bad way, we always say like, you know, mommy and daddy love you. Jesus loves you. Your family loves you. You're doing great. Like whether she did a good deed or not, it's just that verbal awareness and letting her know that. And then obviously, I think as you get older, there's social media and there's friendships in high school and middle school. And like, there's all these other things where it even bleeds into school. Like you don't get recognized unless you get good grades.
Yeah.
So you aren't accepted unless you get like, you pass your test. Your teacher has a problem with you if you don't. So I think society has trained me to be addicted to the approval of others.
What did that look like for you? Because you said 6 or 7 is when you like recognized it.
Yeah.
What did that look like for you? Like not that was at home, but what did it look like for you like in your friend groups? Like what were you things you were constantly doing, or like even boyfriends? Like what did that look like?
Yeah. So I think I realized that I like to people please. And I just like everything to be good. Because I don't know why. I've just always been like that. But for instance, like with my boyfriends, I wasn't 7. I didn't have a boyfriend at 7. But I did have my first boyfriend at like 12, 13 years old. And he actually was a great guy. And I have nothing bad to say about him. We were together for a really long time. But I noticed that the way that I could get his love is if I did what he wanted me to do. And sometimes it was dressing a certain way. Sometimes it was doing things that I knew weren't the best. And but I knew that if I performed in such a way, then he would value me and like me. And I just wanted to be liked. And even in my friend groups, like there was like, we were kind of the popular girls in high school. I would say I was there was like 2 friend groups and one of ours was the most popular. But they were also the meanest. And all the time they would do things in like, we were really rambunctious. We were party kids. Like we were just unhinged. And there was a lot of things that we would do that I know weren't the best, from like stealing and partying and underage drinking and sex and just all that stuff. And then bullying other girls. And I knew it wasn't right, but I still did it because I wanted to be accepted into this friend group. And what's crazy is now that we're talking about this, like just because the shoe fits doesn't mean it looks cute.
Yeah.
And like just because I fit in that group doesn't mean that I belonged.
Yeah.
But I just freaking had so much approval addiction that I like couldn't shake it. Like I just wanted to be accepted.
I feel like at that age too, it's like pivotal.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're finding your identity. But then when you're so deep in approval addiction, you're not really like you don't have an identity. So your identity is what your surroundings like is telling you to be. You know what I mean?
And there's no boundaries either.
Yeah.
Your boundaries go out the door when you have approval addiction.
Yeah. You're like, I'll do whatever.
Just
like me.
Yeah.
You know?
So bad. That's a good question though. Thank you.
And then what was the version of you? Like, at what age do you think that you did it the most? And, like, what did you tolerate from people? Like, give me examples, like, that you're like,
approval
you
addiction?
kind of explained some where you're like, I would dress a certain way. I would, like, do certain things like that. But what was, like, this was my breaking point? Like, at what age you're like, this is where, like, what highlighted it? Was it, like, going to church? Was it, like, oh, people are telling you, like, hey, like, that's not really who you are. Like, why are you doing things like this? Like, so what would you say was like when you tolerated it the most? Or like what were things you were tolerating?
I probably would say like it was the worst it's ever been in high school. And that's when I was like dependent on it. Where to the point where like if I didn't get it, I would be depressed and I would feel like I would just feel so isolated and sad. And then I think when I was like to my breaking point was when in my early 20s, I started business with obviously my husband now, but I started business with Matthew and I had to deal with so many different personalities and different people. And I had to go and do things out of my comfort zone and like talk to people because we're in sales and get on stage and talk in front of 200, 300, 400, 500 people at a time, that it was so debilitating because I couldn't even sell what we were selling. I couldn't even train what we needed to be trained. I couldn't even coach I couldn't even do my job because I was so afraid of what the other person on the other side of the table was thinking about me. And I'm like, this isn't going to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Me caring about like in this situation, like this scenario, me caring about what you think is not going to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Now, if I know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm a good person and my heart's pure and I'm operating with good integrity and good intentions, then that's what I stand on. But like some people are just not going to accept me and that's okay. There's going to be some tables that I'm not supposed to be sitting at. And that's okay because there's so many different tables in this world that really does want me there.
Yeah.
And it's just navigating that. But I finally shed it when I was like, it's not going to pay my bills because I was so hung up on like, this is the job I have to do. I have to go work with people.
Pay my bills.
I got to pay my bills. I got to eat. I got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say is my early 20s is when I was like, finally, I need to stop.
And then there's a question I kind of wanted to circle back to and hopefully we can talk about this, but I do remember you telling me once, and I don't know if this is the same boyfriend, but you and I could be about approval addiction, that you were just so scared to break up with him in person.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to go a little bit into that?
I never break up in person.
That's crazy.
I've had like 3 boyfriends my whole life.
Yeah.
I've had more. Okay, no, I've had 3 like really intense boyfriends my whole life. And I would just go 0 dark 30. Like one day, like they think we're going to meet up and have go to breakfast.
Insane.
And I just no show. And I just don't tell them why. I block them. I don't tell them anything. And they're like banging on my door and like writing me love letters. And I just don't say anything. And that's really bad. But it's because I'm so worried about what they're going to think.
Oh my God.
And no, it's terrible. So to all the exes out there, I'm sorry. I finally found the person that I never had to do that to, which is obviously insane. My husband now. But I am going to do a worldwide verbal apology. I'm sorry I put you young men through that. And the saddest part is they're all still single.
Oh my God. You know what? Maybe
I probably caused their trauma. So
like I'm traumatized.
Hopefully they don't listen to this. They definitely won't. But
if there's one advice you can give women about approval addiction, what would it be?
I think it's finding circles that you don't need approval from. Because like remember I told you in high school, I needed that approval constantly from these girls to be even allowed to sit at the table. And then I finally, like, I would say like right now, I'm just turned 30. Like the girls that are in my life, I have a seat at the table and they want me here and I want them there. And at the end of the day, like, you can't allow somebody else, like what somebody else thinks of you, to dictate whether or not you're going to take action and to dictate your success. Like, my whole life, my family never accepted my business. Like, when I first started business, my dad said it was a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. I should never do it. Yeah. Like, everybody always hated. Everybody in high school, they talked mad crap about everything I did. And if I listened to them 10 years ago, I would not be where I'm at today. Yeah. So like, it's literally, at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is the person that created you, and that's God's. And I know, like, where I know that I'm doing the right thing. And I know that my intentions and where I'm at, like, all of that is pure. And I do care about what my husband thinks, because obviously he's, you know, the love of my life and we're married. And I think your partner, you should care what your partner thinks, because if you understand union and marriage, like, that's important. You guys are one. And then I do care what my kids think, you know, like, I feel like my parents never gave a crap about what I thought, and it's very, very present in how they parented me and how they ended up. But like, I care about what my kids think. And then there is about 5 friends of mine that I do care about what they think, because they do have the best interests for me. But if there's people in your life that are always judging you, like, they're not for you. Because there's a difference between giving me constructive criticism and then judging me and hating me. Yeah. There's a very big difference. You know what I mean?
Too, about the groups that you have that you could confine in, is that, like, you can go to them, and if you don't agree with them, they're like, okay, cool, we still love you. Yes. Like, they're not like so Mean Girls where, like, oh, you didn't take my advice, like, we can't hang out anymore. Right. Like, you're gonna do that.
And that's another thing too, is that, like, we can agree and disagree. Like, it's okay to agree and disagree. Like, 100%. We have there's a couple of our friends, and Yasmin's here, so she knows what I'm talking about. But there's some girls that we encounter, and like, we can't even tell them how we feel, because we know they would never even accept it, and they would never even, like, agree with what we're saying. So we just don't even say anything, and then it becomes built up resentment. Yeah. And then it's this whole thing.
And I think girls like that too, like, make it about them, where it's like, you didn't listen to what I had to say, right? Rather than, like, seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah. And like, with Yasmin, like, we've gotten in full-blown arguments, but I can tell her exactly how I feel, because I know she'll never walk out that door. Yeah. Where, like, if I were to say one thing to my other friend, I know I would say one thing and I will never see her again.
She's like, blocked.
She's like, she'll block me. And I'm like, okay, so now maybe that's how I made my exes feel. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot. But you know what I mean? So that's a good question. I love that. I love this topic.
I love that for you and me.
You're like, I love that.
Okay, so I want to know, how do you distinguish between, like, genuinely caring for someone, and then where's that line and boundary where it's like, I care for you, but now it's like people pleasing? Like, how do you distinguish that?
Okay, I just got, like, finally good at this, because like, I'm literally, I have zero boundaries when it comes to people until Yasmin came into my life, and then Kendra was like, you need to stop doing this.
We love Kendra and
we love Kendra. Yeah, and we love Yasmin. And so we love them both. No, how do I determine it? I will tell you 3 times. I have 3 conversations about a situation. And if you're not taking what I say by the 4th, I'm no longer going to bring it up, and I'm not going to talk to you about it anymore. I'm setting that boundary, and you're no longer invited to my close circle stuff. Background, obviously, I have a large business. Not everybody listening on here knows my husband and I have a huge financial organization. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of people that work with us, that want to be around us, that want to hang out with us. And 90% of the time, they're all incredible. But there are some of the 10% of people that, like, just we have a really hard time with. And like, a lot of the times I do want to please these people because
Yeah.
we're in sales. Like they're in our organization. They, you know what I mean? Like I want them to do well. I want to please them. I want them to
Yeah.
have a good shot at making it in our industry. But then there's a point where like, bro or girlfriend, like you are not getting the picture, and now you are no longer invited to my intimate stuff, because my intimate stuff is like very separate than my business stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like by the fourth time, if I have to bring it up again, like we are done.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna still pray for you,
Yeah.
root for you, but we're no longer in this small circle. You're no longer coming to my kid's birthday
yeah,
party.
like it's like the boundary set.
Yeah, the boundary is set. Now, do I believe in second chances? I've seen people where I've done that and then they actually have got their lives together and they have shown a lot better and they have gotten better. I don't believe in just 100% grudge holding out the door. You have a chance to redeem yourself, but until you do, we're not talking.
Yeah. And I love that, like, again, this is why I said I feel like you lived many lives, from like living with your parents, like being raised by your parents, to like the businesses you've been in and out of, and the business you're in now, the groups that you're in now, the groups that you were.
Right.
What does that look like? Or what if you start to notice things from both like Brave and like Haven, like of like, hey girl, like you're my daughter, I love you, but like this is not who you are. Like what are some things you would tell them? Like, I know you're doing practical things like, hey, mom and dad love you, like Jesus loves you. So tell me what you're doing now besides that. And then what would you tell them in the future if you start to notice things that are like just a little off?
Well, I would say with my 2-year-old, she just gets her ass beat. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, you get the spatula.
You get the spatula. No. My 2-year-old's more difficult. My 4-year-old, about to turn 5, she's actually starting to understand and comprehend, where my mind, like I just learned this from my daughter's new school, is that I'm like, is this a wise decision or a foolish decision? And like, I've been telling her that. And like, granted, they're still young. So like they're 2 and 4. They're 2 and 4. I'm not having like a full blown like intellectual conversation, but like she does know when she's doing something right and when she's doing something wrong. And when she's doing something wrong, like we will address it. Yeah. And when she does something right, I will address it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I want her to go out, like that's how the world works. Like you can't, my 2-year-old, she hits like really bad. Like you can't just go and slap somebody in the face and drag them by their hair when you're 25 years old. That's not how you can function in life. Yeah. But I do like let them both know, is this a wise decision? Is this a foolish decision? When you make foolish decisions, you're going to have foolish results, which means you don't get what you want. You're not going to get your treats. You're not going to be able to go to the parties and have fun and be with your friends. Like, you know what I mean? And then when you do well, we're going to have a lot of fun. When you listen, we're going to do great. Yeah. I've even come to the point where I'm like, you are like, I love you so much and I see the best in you always. But when like, I'm also like, I feel your emotions. So when you're not doing good, then I'm not doing good. And I want us to all have a good time. Yeah. So when you're pissed off, now I'm pissed off. Like energy is everything. Yeah. And whether you believe it or not, it's contagious. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
What are some like practical things you're doing for like their identity so they don't have to like people please?
Yeah. Their identity. That's a good question. I would say, well, raising their identity, I feel like my girls are already like light years away from where I was.
They truly are.
Like truly. I mean,
like she's 4, but I'm like, she's 10.
She's 4, but she's 10. And her social skills are like every time that's the first thing that they notice about her is that she's so social. She's so socially like aware. She's super like always been the bubbly person and like, like super outgoing, where my 2-year-old is.
She'll like grab Ion, like my son, and they'll just like run around. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah. She does that with her best friend too. Like if she sees that somebody's a little bit more shy, or like she'll just bring them right in and they can feel.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not shy.
She's like, this is my best friend and this is like, you're going to play with us. And if you don't, then
you're still going to play with us.
Yeah. You're still going to play with us. Like she's never just by herself. It's always her and her bestie, which is Yasmin's daughter. But anyways, how do I instill into their identity? I don't think I really tell them a lot. I show them more. And I think them watching my growth and my confidence has been so eye-opening for them, because like kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. And like I don't really know, like I don't really, like, it's not like something I tell them every single day outside of like, you know, our affirmations. Like people have seen that we do in the car. Matt says we're huge on affirmations. Every morning that they brush their teeth, they say their affirmations. Haven's trying to. It's really cute. But what was the second part you said? How is their identity growing?
Yeah, so pretty much like what are some like practical things, which you just said, you like speak into their, like they do affirmations in the morning.
Affirmations in the morning.
And then like
they also don't live a regular life.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't. And like I think they're learning more by traveling and learning other cultures and being around so many people than like the average, like obviously like not average, but like regular like kids do. Like
yeah,
it was really awkward, but how do I say this without coming across?
Say it.
Okay, so we're flying and we flew Southwest, and typically we don't fly Southwest because usually our flights are a little farther.
Yeah.
But obviously I have my kid and she's only 4, so I'm not gonna like, when she's flying with me, she's gonna sit where we sit.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in first class, typically.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever. We have our meal. It's fine. So we go to Southwest and Brave, my 4-year-old, she looks at me and she goes, "Mommy, when's my meal coming?"
Shut
And I'm like,
up.
"Honey, we don't get a meal here. It's a 2-hour flight, number one, and we're in Southwest." She goes, "So we're not gonna eat?" And I'm like she's expecting to get her meal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't even get mad at her because she has the identity of she should be in the front of the plane.
Yeah.
Getting her little food that she doesn't even eat, and her little sparkling water in her glass, in the glass little wine glass.
It's so funny.
And I like, some people are listening to this and being like, "Oh my God, that's such a bratty little girl. Like da 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 da. Like her parents are rich." But like the other side is, I want her to like, how do you know what you like out of life if you've never tasted it? I want
she
her
knows
to.
What she wants.
She knows what she wants. Like when we go to nice hotels, she can tell the difference.
That's so
and
funny.
To me,
good.
Like
yeah.
I'm happy about that because I just saw this thing that's so good. You can buy 5 different water bottles. One at a hotel, that's $25 for one water bottle. One at a restaurant, that's like probably $8 or $9 if you get the big bottle of whatever. Still, you can go to the gas station for like $4 or $5. You can go to like, I don't know, like a grocery store that's like $2 or $3 depending on the package that you get. Or you can get a water bottle, or you can get water for free at a restaurant, and that's tap water. Like what water are you?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm okay with her.
I'm the $25.
I'm okay with her thinking that she's a $25 water bottle.
Yeah.
Because in life, like that's when she's older, I don't want her settling for anything.
She has expectations.
Yeah, she has high expectations. Yeah. And I think that's okay. I got high expectations. I started realizing that in my late teens, early 20s. She's 4 years old.
Yeah.
That means any man that comes in her way,
luck.
any friends that come in her way, she's going to have high expectations.
That's so true.
And I'm okay with that. And some people aren't, but I am.
And that goes back to like finding the right friends that she doesn't have to people please around, because she's like, yeah, I've never had to do this in my life. Like my parents, I never had to people please my parents. Like why would I?
Yeah, exactly.
Please these random strangers.
And she's constantly traveling. Like this poor girl is always on a plane, or this poor girl, where she's always going somewhere.
Yeah.
And like even her, it's cool because like her best friends we all work together. Like all my friends, we all work together, or we're all in the same industry, and we all have kids. So all of our kids are living this life together.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking awesome because like their identity is like, they're at the 4 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that your identity is low if you're staying at a Holiday Inn. I'm just saying the quality is way different.
Yeah.
I've never sat in the back of the plane and been like, I love it back here. Yeah. I've never sat in aisle 71 next to the bathroom while it smells like poo and been like, God, I love this seat. Like,
no, exactly. That's
and
so
if
true.
you I bet we could do an interview and ask every person on the plane, what seat would you rather sit in? If first class was free, would you take it?
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because it's more comfortable. It's like there's more space. You get offered
the first
more.
one out.
You're the first one out. The first one on.
Yeah.
And it's just, but here's the deal. You can't get mad in life when you can't get mad at people when it's available. Now, if you're growing up in Africa where there's no opportunity and you're on a dirt floor, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I understand.
Yeah.
But here in America, we have equal opportunity, and there's an opportunity out there. If you find the right business and the right tools and the right associations, that you can obtain that life too.
That's so
So
true.
don't get mad just because my 4-year-old daughter is flying in first class and you're 72 and you're sitting in the back of the plane.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
I'm gonna drop that mic.
And we're gonna end with this one.
Like,
so if younger you, people pleasing you,
okay,
were listening to this podcast right now, what would you want her to know?
oh man, younger me. What would I want her to know if she was listening to my podcast? Like,
How would you want her to feel? Would like some takes that you were like, dang, that was like good.
That was good. I want her to know that the most insecure person can become super confident because I was so insecure, and that it's okay to that healing is honest. It's not perfect.
That's good.
Because I feel like my whole life I was trying to be perfect, and I would be so perfect that I would make up stories and I would make up lies and I would do things I didn't want to do, and I would just be not authentically myself, worried about approving everybody around me, that I would lose my sense of identity. But at the end of the day, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for honesty and health and being healthy and love and being loved and having grace and gratitude, and that's what I'm striving for. So I wish like somebody sat me down and told me that like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's so good. I feel like younger you would be so proud, like the wife you are, the mom you are, the business, the life that you have. Like I feel like it didn't come easy. Everybody knows that. You know, I think your friends know that, so she would be proud.
Thanks. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah,
I'm like, you too.
Thanks.
All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Thank you so much for tuning in on Healing-ish. And if you liked the video, don't forget to share it with someone that you know. If you have something to say, don't forget to comment below. And that's all for today. I'll see you on the next one.